Before we get into this video, about 68% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed, so get your life together and hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and leave a like on this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a like. Yeah, in today's video, we're going to talk about the 10 most underrated players in Major League Baseball right now. Tomorrow's video is going to be the 10 most overrated players in Major League Baseball right now. I'm sure that video will be pretty controversial. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video talking about the top 10 most overrated or underrated players in Major League Baseball. Nothing much more to be said. Check out my basketball channel. There will be a new video today on that channel. So, yeah. Subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a like to that channel and this channel. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video. Starting off with, at number 1 is going to be Max Fried, a pitcher of the Atlanta Braves. Now, this is in no specific order. Max Fried had a great 2020 season. I always thought that Max Fried had a ton of potential, and he showed that side of potential in 2020. He went from being just an okay starter in Major League Baseball to being an all-MLB first-team selection in 2020. He always gave the Braves a chance to win every time he pitched in 2020. Now, this Braves rotation did not have a lot of good pitchers in that rotation. You were throwing out Josh Tomlin, Robbie Erland, 2 pitchers that are Kyle Wright, 3 players that just aren't really good for wins, and that's not good. 3 players that are not good for wins. Max Fried was the big hope. Like, when he was pitching, as a Braves fan, you had to think, we've got a chance at winning this baseball game. If that was accurate. Every time he pitched for the Braves, he gave a chance to win. And that's what was so good about Max Fried in 2020. Now, it did help that Mike Soroka was out for him, kind of, because like he was the ace. Ian Anderson helped a lot. Max Fried, all-MLB team, first team selection. I think he definitely deserved it. Very good pitcher. He showed a ton of potential, and maybe he takes another jump in 2021. Next at number 2 is going to be Brian Anderson, third baseman of the Miami Marlins. Brian Anderson of the Marlins has played really well the last 2 seasons for the Marlins, and no one is talking about Brian Anderson. He is a player that should get talked about more, considering he has played really good for multiple seasons. Brian Anderson, definitely underrated. Like, no one is talking about him. He can play third base. He can play right field. And no one's talking about him. That's a problem. No one is talking about Brian Anderson. And Brian Anderson's a very good player. And I think he's definitely got to be one of the more underrated players in the game, considering no one's talking about him. Yes, he's on the Marlins, but he still deserves to be talked about. Coming in at number 3 on this list is going to be Jeff Mcneill of the New York Mets. Jeff Mcneill is a great leadoff hitter for any team in Major League Baseball. He hits for a high average and gets on base quite a bit, exactly what you would want from your leadoff hitter. In all 3 years in the Major Leagues, he has had an average over 300, which is great. Not to mention the fact that he can play third base, second base, right field, and he can play a ton of positions as well. And he's going to hit the ball well. He's not much of a power bat, but he's a very, very good player. And Jeff Mcneill is the player that you should want to be the leadoff hitter for your favorite team. Now, you're not getting him in a trade, probably. Coming in at number 4 on this list is going to be Toby Edmond. Toby Edmond, his Major League debut was in 2018 in the postseason, I'm pretty sure. It was really good. He could play a ton of positions, including shortstop, third base, second base, and the outfield. He had a really good 2020 season, hitting over 300 with 11 home runs and 36 runs batted in. Edmond is who any baseball fan should want to be a leadoff hitter for your favorite team. Edmond, very good player. I mean, if he was on the Braves, I'd be very happy. Utility player that could play pretty much anywhere. Next is going to be Kyle Hendricks. At number 5 on this list is going to be Kyle Hendricks of the Chicago Cubs. Kyle Hendricks is so underrated. The Cubs have a ace-type pitcher with Hendricks, and no one's talking about him. He has had a below 4 ERA ever since being called up to the major leagues. The Rangers originally drafted him in 2011. He made his major league debut in 2014 for the Cubs. In 2020, he had a 6-5 record with a 2.88 ERA. Very good seasons from Kyle Hendricks. He's a player that maybe it's not in that Cy Young race, but he's a very, very good pitcher that people should be talking about more. Coming in at number 6 on this list is going to be Corey Seager of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Corey Seager was one of the best players of the 2020 MLB World Series and postseason in general. He was drafted with the Dodgers' first-round pick in 2014. There were rumors that he might be traded last offseason, and as good as he played in 2020, he's probably close to untouchable right now for the Dodgers. He played so well, and he was one of the main reasons why the Dodgers were able to win the World Series in 2020. He was great in 2020. His stats at 2020, he had a 307 batting average, 15 home runs, and 41 RBIs in 2020. Very, very good season. Next is Mike Yastrzemski of the San Francisco Giants. No one expected Mike Yastrzemski to be all that good in Major League Baseball, but he is very good, and no one is talking about him. He is a very good player who has been good for 2 straight seasons with the Giants. Also, he hits for a high average and can play any position in the outfield. He was selected to All-MLB second team in 2020. So that should tell you a lot too, that he's a very, very good player. In 2020, his stats, 297 average, 10 home runs, and 35 RBIs. Very, very good season from Mike Yastrzemski. Really, really good season. No two ways about it. Next player on this list is going to be Whitmerfield. Whitmerfield has to be one of the more underrated players in Major League Baseball right now, and the main reason for that is because he plays for a bad Royals team now. He should want out and should request a trade, but who knows if he will. He always hits for a high average and gets on base a ton. Was drafted with the 9th round pick in 2020 by the in 2010 by the Royals. So that's a steal for a 9th round pick. 2020 stats, 282 batting average, 9 home runs, and 30 RBIs. Very, very good season. Now, you've got to look at these stats. They don't mean a ton because they're only in 60 games, in case you're like living under a rock or just trying to get in Major League Baseball, even though Major League Baseball doesn't do a great job of marketing their players well. Next player on this list is going to be David Fletcher. David Fletcher has to be one of the more underrated players in Major League Baseball as well, just like I said about Whitmerfield. No one is talking about David Fletcher. When people talk about the Angels, they tend to talk about Anthony Rendon, Shohei Ohtani, or, of course, Mike Trout. But David Fletcher is a big reason why the Angels hitting is so good. He was drafted in 2015 by the Angels. Very, very good player. And David Fletcher, so good. 2020 stats, 319 average, 3 home runs, and 18 RBIs. Next player on this list is going to be Jonathan Hernandez, a relief pitcher for the Texas Rangers. Jonathan Hernandez may be a name you do not know, but in 2020, Hernandez was so good. I saw the potential in Hernandez. I think him being now a relief pitcher really changed his career. He is the only relief pitcher on this list, but Jonathan Hernandez, very, very good player. He showed in 2020 that potential, and he was great in the bullpen, like as an 8th inning setup man for Rafael Montero, obviously, who was the Rangers closer in 2020. 2.90 ERA, 5-1 on the season. He had a great season. So that's why Jonathan Hernandez is on this list. And coming in at number 10 is going to be Brandon Lowe of the Tampa Bay Rays. Brandon Lowe would have been an all-star in 2020 if there was an all-star game. He was not good at all in the 2020 postseason, but he was really good in the regular season. Yes, you could argue it was only 60 games, and you were right, but he played well in 2019 as well. 2020 stats, 14 home runs, 37 RBIs, and a 269 batting average. So those are the 10 most underrated players in Major League Baseball right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You'll get notified whenever I upload a video. Link to my basketball channel in the description below. It's always in the description, so like check the description, I guess. Subscribe, turn on notifications to that channel as well. Yeah. Thank you for watching. 68% of you that watch these videos are subscribed. So get your life together. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, leave a like on this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a like. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon.